Hi, welcome to the Montana Real Estate Channel. If you're a subscriber, you kind of know how we operate here, and we're going to be looking at some communities. If you're new to the channel and you want to know more about Montana real estate and specific communities, you're going to tap right down there, logo on the right-hand side of your screen, and you'll be the first to know about when we post up new videos about communities in Montana and discuss real estate statistics, price points, and those types of things for those who are interested in either moving to Montana or moving to a different community in Montana. I'm Craig Cyphers, and I work with my daughter Erica at Cyphers Family Real Estate. We work inside Exit Realty, Bitterroot Valley South in Hamilton, but we have offices and affiliates all across the state of Montana. We'd like to be a resource for you in your relocation to some beautiful place in Montana. We've got all the information that you need in order to contact in the description below. So we encourage you to reach out because we'd like to be a resource for you. So today we're going to be in the community of Lolo, Montana, which is an unincorporated part of the south side of Missoula County, just south of the city of Missoula, which is the home of the University of Montana. And we did a part one, Florence and Lolo, but it got a little bit long, so we decided that we'd break it up a little bit. So we're going to start today with looking at a specific property on Mormon Creek, which is just south of Lolo, in timbered area that is a bedroom community basically of Missoula. So we're taking a look here at a property on Mormon Creek Road that we just closed on. It is 9.92 acres, very typical of a home that you'll see in this part of Mormon Creek. It was 2,700 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath home. It had a dry guest cabin, and it sold for 95% of ask. It was listed at $897,000, and it sold for $857,000. Usually, properties in this area of western Montana oftentimes will sell between 97 and 98% of asking price in the current market. During the pandemic, our regional area actually was selling on average at about 102% of ask, but the market, because of interest rates, have cooled off a little bit. It sold in 137 days, and it had access in the neighborhood to the Lolo National Forest, which is a real plus. Most of the properties here sell or are between 5 and 25 acres, but most typically they're 10 acres. And it's just 20 minutes to downtown Missoula. The roads are good, but you're definitely going to have a 4-wheel drive in this area. Coming out of the Mormon Creek property that we were just looking at, and you can see this is heavily forested property. And there are houses out here that are scattered all about that you can't really see necessarily. We saw the roof of one house there. The home that we're coming up on now, house that was built in 2019, it's a 1,644 square foot home. And just over here, this view looking west, you can see the remnants of the 2017 fire that ravaged the Lolo Peak area. Approximately 54,000 acres were burned. So you have to be aware of the dangers of living in that kind of environment. Now this is an area called Bitterroot Meadows. It was platted in 1983. The homes built here have been built over about a 10-year span from 83 forward into the mid-90s, and it ranged in square foot from 1,600 square feet to 2,800 square feet. And they sell from the low 500s to 600,000 depending on the size. You can see when we get up here to the immediate south, there's a phase 2 where the homes are on private septic systems and Public Homeowners Association water. And the lots that we'll see above this area here that are in phase 2 of the of Bitterroot Meadows. They are big homes. They range in size upwards of 4,200 square feet and more. Currently, there is a 3,800 square foot 3-bedroom, 3-bath on 1.8 acres. Now, this is the Westview subdivision that sits above Lolo, and it was platted in various phases beginning in the early 1970s. And these homes range in value from the low 400s to high 400s, depending on condition. There was one fixer-upper sold for $310,000, but that was back in 2022. The square footage varies depending on the location. Many of these homes that are perched above the highway, and you can see Lolo Business District and Highway 93 out to the east. And some of these homes are 2-level homes with walkout basements and can exceed 2,500 square feet. But they have great views of the valley below Lolo Business District in the Florence and Lolo video that you can also find here on the Montana Real Estate channel. Now, our next subdivision is just below the Westview development, and it's another development is much newer, and we are greeted entering this area by the Lolo Peak Brewery, which has some great micro beers and a fine bill of fare. And then here just behind the brewery, we'll see the Ponderosa Trail townhomes, which were built in 2014. They were 2-bath townhomes that sold out quickly. So the development we are, now coming into is called the Ponderosa Heights. Now, these homes are on approximately 1/3 of an acre, and they tend to be quite large for the most part, but they do range in size. And the first homes were built in this subdivision in about 2007. So it's relatively new, with homes being built as late as 2023. And the homes do range in size from 1,600 square feet on up to over 4,400. And there is one that is just currently pending for $1.295 million or $290 a square foot, which is actually quite reasonable, for new construction. We're going to head down Glacier Drive on the east side of Highway 93. The first sets of structures are multifamily apartment complexes or fourplexes and duplexes. And however, we get over the tracks here, we are in Lakeview Addition. And these homes were built between 1970 and 1980, and generally 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes with basements. They usually have basements in them, so that the total square footage is between 2,000 and 2,600. Nothing really has sold in this portion of the Lakeview Addition for over 3 years. The newer part of Lakeview sits on Hayden Lake, and it's an area fed by the Bitterroot River, and its homes in this portion of the subdivision were generally built in the 1980s and 90s, but living on the lake and being so close to Missoula can really be very peaceful. These homes really vary in size, but have recently been selling between $550,000 and $630,000. Great area to find a home in. The market here is somewhat active. They seem to turn over. There's quite a few homes, and you can see it has great popularity because many of these homes do back up to Lake Hayden, which was named for John Hayden, who was the developer of this particular Lakeview Addition. He was very instrumental in developing Lolo in general. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Montana Real Estate Channel. Don't forget to hit the logo on the lower right portion of your screen. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, happy trails to you from Cypher's Family Real Estate since 1966. So we're going to leave you with the sounds of Lake Hayden in Lolo, Montana, and we hope to see you again with our next video.